Hey guys, Coach Bo here with 80-20 Baseball. In this video, we're going to talk about how to control the running game at first base. When I say running game at first base, when there's nobody on second base, when there's no base runner on second base, and that runner at first can steal. And of course, this is obviously for levels where stealing is applicable or is something that is permitted, which is most baseball levels. We're going to start with the right-handed pitcher. The right-handed pitcher, they always seem to be getting put in the back of the mix there, they get looked at second when it comes to those scouts and things like that. So we're going to put them at the front of this video to start, and then we'll get to the left-handed move and the left-handed way of controlling the running game in a minute. We're going to move through this quickly because I think it should be very concise, and there should just be, for the righty, 3 steps to holding the running game. No more, no less. It shouldn't be a complicated thing, although this is definitely something that we complicate as coaches and as players more than we should. I'm going to give you 3 steps. That's it. You have option 1, option 2, option 3 for right-handers. That's it. I will discuss a few advanced techniques that you can use to kind of vary things up as you get more advanced. And I'm talking like advanced high school, college, and professional baseball. We'll get into that in a minute. First, right-handed pitchers, you should have one quick, quality pickoff move. And I'm going to get kind of specific here. One quick move that you hold for 2 seconds before doing, all right? A 2-second hold quick pickoff. You have an A move. That's it. That's your pickoff move. You have one move where you come set, hold it for 2 seconds, and you go quick. Again, we're going to get into some of these advanced variations in a second. Some of you coaches are like, well, I like my pitchers to vary. I understand. Again, we're talking most of the players out there, most of the pitchers, we complicate this stuff way too much, and we end up getting worse results in terms of outs and run production. See, holding the running game doesn't just show up as a positive or a negative, or it doesn't show up that we're doing a good job or a bad job, or doing well or doing poorly based off of how many runners get picked off or how many runners steal second. But how many pitches did we make to the hitter that were of poor quality because we were so concerned, we had so many thoughts going through our head about holding that runner? Think about that. How many poorly executed pitches were a result or a byproduct in one way or another of being overly focused on the guy at first base rather than getting that hitter out at home plate and executing a pitch, a quality pitch. So I think when you think about it like that, you start to go, what's the trade-off? Do I want to hold this guy and never give up a stolen base all year, have 1,000 different things and tricks, and struggle to get hitters out consistently? Because our practice time is finite. Unless a kid can go out there, a player can go out there and practice this for 5 hours a day, you got to draw the line somewhere, and we're going to draw it here with the 3 things. And I said, number 1, have a quick A+ move. I recommend for those of you that are not to an advanced level, youth ball, keep it simple. Tell your pitcher, come set, hold for 2, and give it your A+ move. Now, I just got a knee replacement. It's nice. It's titanium, and it's working pretty good, but I can't do my quick spin move like I used to, at least not yet. That's down the road. The doctor said I got to take a little patience. It's only been 4 months. The second thing that pitchers should have in their toolbox, there's 3 things. There's 3 ways of going about holding the running game. 1, have an A+ move that you hold for 2 seconds. Keep it simple. The second thing is a power slide step move to the plate. I highly recommend you not, players, pitchers, you not having multiple leg lifts. I think varying your leg lift with the runner at first. Well, you may say, Coach, that guy's not going anywhere and this and that, and he's a slower, he's not a threat to run. Or this guy's a speedster, so I'm gonna really just straight slide step without any load and all. Let's go with one simple move, because what happens is you throw off your timing, your rhythm as a pitcher, and again, it goes back to getting outs at the plate as well as holding the running game. We want to be effective with our pitches, not just overly consumed with that runner at first. So I think that the one, and my vast experience has shown this to be, and if you watch the guys who are super effective at also getting outs along with holding the game and controlling the running game, for right-handed pitchers specifically, is having a power what I call power slide step. You know, traditional slide step, most of you all are familiar with this. It's just kind of straight out. It's just really kind of that front leg goes out. That left leg just strides straight out. I don't think that's giving your arm and your body enough time to load and do its thing. More importantly, it doesn't generate enough of a hip lead and get to that a little bit more of a powerful momentum building phase. Now, again, you're not lifting your leg very high at all. If you do, you're in trouble. The guy's just going to run all day. It's just going to be like putting a quarter in the merry-go-round, and we do not want that either. We don't want to turn every single and every walk and do a double into a triple. So it comes set, and it's a lift and go. And again, like I said, I got my my knee here, my new knee, titanium, but it's still not quite there yet. So I'm going to do my best to show it. You're going here, and as I lift, and I'll do a slow motion, I lift, I'm pushing my hip forward, and I'm just lifting a few inches, and I'm pushing my hip forward. Lift, hip. All right? Lift and hip. This foot does not get more than a few inches off the ground before I start going forward. Again, I'm not lifting up and going out. All right? I'm not, none of that. All right? So it's lift, hip. Pushing that hip forward. All right? Riding that back leg a little, not sinking too far, not dropping down heavy on it. But yeah, you're going to ride it, sure. You're going to get here, and then on that back leg and go. I call that the power slide step. All right. And then you complete the pitch. The third way, the third tool in the toolbox for right-handed pitchers. To recap real quick, you got the 1 A+ move, hold for 2, and it's quick. Boom, fast. Much faster than that, hopefully. The second thing is a power. Now, that's when you're picking. So when you got a pickoff called, you decided to pick, you got your A move, you use that one, and that's it. Tool number 2, the second way of attacking it, the power slide step. So you're not slide stepping and you're not lifting high. You're going in the middle, but closer to a slide step. You're lifting and getting going with some hip momentum. The lower half getting that center of gravity out in front a little bit to drive some momentum while also shortening up your leg lift. And the third is going to be the use of an intermittent hold, no pitch. So I think this is super effective from time to time. I think this is something that should be used definitely every game, maybe a couple times a game, especially with a guy who's a serious threat, and especially with a runner that has shown the propensity or the you know, he's shown that he's going to leave early or he's going to guess and time the pitch. Simply just have your, and I'll show it from the side here, your pitcher comes set and just holds the ball until either the hitter calls timeout. Usually it's going to be the hitter or the umpire calls timeout. Now what you're hoping is that guy guesses and he starts taking off a little early. You're not pitching, so there's really no reason for a balk. You just hold and you're just waiting. You're going to listen for step off or whatever call you have to your pitcher when the runner might take off because you can't see him usually. And he just steps off. If he does go and you make the play to second base, you get the ball up, you get your out. It also plants the seed that, hey, he doesn't always just, you know, pitch on a certain time and he doesn't just pick on a certain, you know, he will hold the ball. And I would do this early on in the game. Leadoff hitter gets on or the first fast guy that gets on or whoever, just maybe you do it the second pitch when a guy gets on just to plant that seed in the opposing team, the opposing coach's mind. Hey, he may not pitch. He may just hold the ball, so we can't just start guessing and taking off early and leaving early. So you have the 3 things here. You got the A+ move. Boom, 1 A+ move. I recommend just a 2-second hold. That allows it. That 2 seconds is not too long, but it's also long enough for the runner might get a little antsy and maybe, you know, flinch a little, maybe get caught out in front, maybe get caught leaning. If you don't want to do 2 seconds, do 3 seconds. Don't do 1 and don't get too long with 4 seconds. 2 or 3 second hold, A+ move. You are eliminating this fake move. You're going to eliminate this step off. Let's not do that. That's not effective. It's a waste of time. It's really more importantly than time. I'm not concerned so much about time, but just it's a waste of mental bandwidth. And a pitcher already has a challenge trying to hit that glove at 60 feet and 60 and a half feet or, you know, a little closer, but still, even for younger kids, it's even, you know, just as hard. They got a closer mound, but their control's not quite there. Their bodies aren't as strong and consistent. Let's not take that mental bandwidth and you know, disperse it out over like having our guys worry about a perfect step off or, you know, a fake, you know, kind of half motion, slow move. No, let's keep it simple. 3 things. 3 things. Your A+ move, your power slide step, and then your hold. You're just holding. You're not pitching. It's already predetermined. You're just holding. And you're going to get the hitter a little antsy. Possibly can help on the next pitch or two. You're going to keep that other team from start cheating and guessing and leaving early. We're eliminating that step off and that fake move and that B move. Getting rid of that. All right. Advanced pitchers. You can vary the timing, and I mean advanced, like really good high school, but I would even recommend this more for college and pro guys who have a lot more time to work on it. And a lot more wherewithal and understanding of the nuances of when and when not to hold it, certain lengths of time, for certain durations. All right, so I'll show you from the side. Advanced pitchers, yeah, vary your timing of your pitches and your picks. All right, so vary the timing of the pick. Maybe you go, as you're coming down. Maybe you go after 4 or 5 seconds, right before. A great technique for advanced pitchers that can handle this is it's a really great technique. And I'm going to throw a little bonus in right now. I wasn't planning on sharing this right here. I was going to wait till another video, but I'm going to throw it in right now. You just hold, and right before you think that hitter's going to call timeout, or right before you think the umpire is going to call time, you pick. All right? So I've timed it out to be about between 4 and 6 seconds. Right around 5 seconds is when that hitter gets a little antsy, throws his hand up, calls time. Hopefully he doesn't throw his hand up, keeps his hand on his bat, but you get my point. He calls time or the umpire calls time. I love waiting till that last second and picking, right about 5 seconds. So you can time this on a stopwatch and get this down where you have a nice long hold. But for most all pitchers, especially youth pitchers, keep it at like 2 or 3 seconds. Have one move where you time it, maybe it's a breath. Something that's maybe not noticeable to the other team, the opposing runner, but something you just time and you pick. For you advanced pitchers, you can mix in the timing of your picks and the timing of your pitches. Now, young pitchers, you should definitely mix in the timing of your pitches. I just wouldn't get overly concerned with it. I would get concerned with executing that power slide step and then making a good pitch. The other thing you're going to do is eliminate the timing, like I said, the timing of the pickoff and the timing of the pitches. Now we're going to move to the lefties. So lefties. All right, I'm going to try to do my best lefty. I've had a lot of buddies over the years who are lefties. Great guys, those lefties. They're always a little off, with some things like, the angle of their hat. But that's neither here nor there. Lefties, controlling the running game at first base. I think this is super important for you guys all to hear because this gets kind of confusing with there's a lot of options for lefties. There's a lot more options. They can step off, they can lift a little, they can just do kind of a glide pick. They can do a huge fake boom pick. They can do all this head movement stuff. All right, we are not going to have our pitchers doing that. Some of that we're not going to have them do at all, no matter how advanced they are. And for the youth ball, high school down, we're not having them do any of that. You got 2 options for high school ball and down unless you're a super advanced, long-time pitcher at the high school level. College pros, we'll get to you in a second. You're going to have a power slide step, lefties, just like the righties. Power slide step. All right, so it's going to be the same. I'm not going to get into it. You guys saw it. It's a slight lift, 2-3 inches, 4 inches, just enough to kind of load a little, get this hip going in front, generate some momentum, get you on that back leg a little bit, but also get some power and momentum going and kind of squaring up and getting your center of gravity in a good position to get down that slope and make a quality pitch without taking a long time to get to it. Option 2 for pitchers is a quick lift and pick. Lefties, I know you got 1,000 options, but let's not get complicated, especially for you high school guys down. You're already having a tough time throwing strikes and, this and that. Let's just keep it, you have a quick pick. And I'll show you from here as best I can. You're here. You're looking right at the runner. I think this is the best way just to have the same head movement every time. Right at the runner. All right, you come here and you pick. Now that was actually a very good example of what I'm talking about. Let me show you again. You're really going to show it like a slide, like you're showing like you're doing like your power slide step. So you're basically just power slide step picking. Okay? So you got your power slide step pitch, your power slide step pick. That's it. You don't need to vary your timing or any of that stuff. I really don't. You're looking right at the runner, lefty, so it's right in front of you. So he's not going to leave early on you. If he does, he's just giving you a free out, right? He's right in front of you, and they're not going to they definitely probably shouldn't be doing that. You might see it here, from time to time, but that's just a knucklehead runner. Now, the advanced pitchers, stronger pitchers that can handle this effectively. A step-off pick can be effective with a guy who's trying to, maybe be a little dumb over there and get off a big lead and try to show off, or maybe a guy who's not looking. Sometimes those runners get leads and they look back at the base to see how far they've gone. And again, these aren't advanced runners, aren't going to be doing this, but you'll catch some guys that are looking back, or maybe the coach says something as they're getting their lead, and they look at the coach. If you see a runner not looking at you, you see him glance away, boom, step off, pick. That's assuming you're looking at him too and not getting your signs from the catcher or whatnot. You can also, if he gets a big lead, just step off and see if you can get him. But that's really hard for young kids to do. Very hard for kids, college guys, pro guys, they get there, but you're just not getting a whole lot. It's basically all arm. It's just all arm into that. So it really makes it hard because, yeah, you're quick and you get rid of it quick, but that ball dies as it gets to first. It doesn't carry, it doesn't, boom, it's not there. So it may look like you got an out, but that last 10, 15 feet, that throw really slows up because you haven't been able to, get into it as well as you would a typical throw. Now, advanced pitchers, here's another thing you can do. When I say advanced, college and up, a full leg lift pickoff. A full leg pickoff. Now, let me tell you this. Do not use this against a guy that's probably or likely to steal. Do not use this against a guy who's likely to steal. You're like, why would I pick off against a guy who's not going to steal? Hear me out on this one. Here we go. There are guys that get early secondaries. They get lazy. They want to bounce off early. He's not going, so you got a guy a little bit bigger maybe. Maybe he's fast, so be careful. But a guy you're not, maybe you got a scouting report on, especially in college and pro ball, and you're like, this guy hasn't stolen a base since, 2012 when he was in, Little League. That's the kind of guy, if you see him, you can do this. You get a huge lift, all right, and then a pick. It's not going to work very often because you're going with that power slide step pitch. So, after the first or second time, even a halfway decent coach is going to be picking up on that leg big. What you're trying to do is, and this is really for coaches to watch. Coaches are going to watch the runner. If he bounces off real quick, as soon as that pitcher lifts, he's not stealing, but he jumps into his secondary. That's exactly who you want to use this against. So you're going to get him bouncing into his secondary. When he bounces into his secondary, and you pick him off as he bounces into it a little early. You get him a step or two into, say he's leaning that weight, especially the weight on a secondary, you're going to have a pretty easy out there. So this is really a coach is going to watch this and see if they're getting into that early, premature secondary, and you're going to take advantage of it with a little bit bigger leg lift because you want to kind of lure them in. You kind of want to suck them into that extra little distance, that extra step, and you can pick them off. Again, this isn't going to work over and over again because your normal move is a quick pick, a power slide step pick, or a power slide step pitch. And I'm looking a little goofy here as a lefty, but stay with me. All right. So there's a couple things that you can work on as far as the advanced pitchers, the step off, the full leg lift, and the head movement. You can start getting a little tricky with the head movement, I don't like that. I think your basic head movement for all levels should just be right at them. And here, pitch. You're pitching, or you're here, and picking. So you're starting with your eyes on the target. Look to the glove as you lift. Don't look like this and then do it because you're taking your eyes off them. There's no reason to take your eyes off them pitchers. I just don't think there's a reason. That home plate is not moving. You're not Aaron Rodgers throwing to a moving target with a defense that's going from a cover zero into a 4 deep. You're not seeing that. So it's not like that glove is going to be right there. Home plate hasn't moved since they built the field. I don't think you need to get over antsy and look here, take your eyes off them too early. Keep it simple. Eyes on the runner, eyes on the first baseman, the lead. All right, and either you pitch or pick, but as soon as you look home, boom, pick. As soon as you look home, pitch. And if you got that sloppy secondary guy, lift, boom, get him bouncing. All right, guys. Hope this helps. Cover first base. We covered a lot here because I think it's something that's really misunderstood. I tried to boil it down to what we should really be doing. Some of the things the advanced players should be doing. and some things that we should just not really mess with at all. And just, you know, we could have 1,000 tricks in our bag, you know, as a magician on this, and just like, hey, let's execute, because at the end of the day, our most important job as a pitcher is to get the hitters out. And if you get the next couple of hitters out, you're going to cut down and if you make quality pitches, you're going to cut down on way more runs throughout the season than if you get cute and pick off an extra guy here or there. All right. This has been Coach Bo. Thank you so much. I hope you got a lot out of this. And that's it. I'm out. Take care.